Hi, Assalamualaikum. We are from Group 4 of Group Biology. We'd like to present about mass tourism. So, it is refers to the organized and widespread movement of tourists to specific locations, often leading to economic benefits but also potential downsides like overcrowding and environmental degradation. So, what is actually mass tourism? Mass tourism is a movement of a large number of organized tourists to popular holiday destinations for recreational purpose. It is characterized by four main points, four characteristics. So high volume, standardization, concentration, and accessibility. So what is the effects of the mass tourism itself to human and ecosystem? So for human, it have positive and negative. So for positive, it gives economic benefits, cultural exchange, and improve social facilities, while for negative effects, we loss of cultural authenticity, increased cost of living, and social skills. For ecosystem, habitat destruction and land degradation, population, depletion of natural resources, and damage fragile ecosystem. So I had already provided two real-world examples, which is in Bali and the Great Wall of China. So as you can see, the first one is coastal resort and the second one is iconic landmarks.
Hello, my name is Fahim S3698. I want to present about factor contributing to mass tourism. Okay, the first one, it will increase the affordability of travel. It means when the cheaper flight, budget-friendly stay, and easy affordable access to global destination, all people will come to that one place and it will become a crowded. And when it crowded, it can increase the tourism in that place, and the effect we will know what will happen. And then the demand for leisure and new experience in modern lifestyle, it encourage exploration for relaxation, with the culture and adventure. And then the last one that contributing to mass tourism is social media hype and globalization. When everything is globalized, everything can easy access. When like marketing and media influence such as social media ads, can create a great global tourism trend and worldwide communication and the simplify visa system.
Direct impact of mass tourism on ecosystem. Mass tourism can have significant and immediate effects on natural ecosystem. These impacts are often tangible and visible, disrupting the balance of local environments. So we have three, which is habitat destruction, pollution, and waste generation. So we go to first, which is habitat destruction. So habitat destruction occurs because of too many people come or visit to our place, so we have to provide the facility like hotel, roads, and airport. So natural areas are cleared for hotel, roads, airports, and so on. So wildlife loses shelter and food source. So we go to pollution. Pollution we have two, air pollution and water pollution. So air pollution occurs because there is a lot of smoke produced by vehicles such as motorcycle, cars, and so on. So water pollution. Water pollution occurs because of untreated sewage and from sunscreen, which contains chemicals that can affect aquatic life. So we go to the last one, which is waste generation. Waste generation, more people, more trash. So because some of them do not feel responsible for what they do, so from this attitude, there is environmental pollution, which causes the environment to be dirty. So, the waste like plastic, food, and packaging. So, that's all.
So we talked about the direct impacts and now we're moving on to the indirect ones. Indirect impacts will be the secondary or subsequent occurring later in time or at a distance from the initial action. So now let's take a look on the indirect impacts of mass tourism. Firstly, infrastructure development. So we talked about habitat loss and etc. But for this one, we will talk about the effects that affect the wider ecosystem in various ways. Fragmentation of remaining habitat. The new plantation can create isolated patches of remaining forest, and this fragmentation prevents animals from moving freely to find food, mates, or escape threats. It can lead to smaller, less viable populations and reduce genetic diversity. So, for increased human-wildlife conflict, as animals are displaced from their destroyed habitat, they may venture into nearby plantations or human settlements in search of food. So, next, forest destruction can disrupt vital ecological processes on a larger scale, for example, loss of pollinators. Lastly, changes in water quality and hydrology. Indirectly, they can cause soil erosion and sedimentation in rivers and streams and can negatively impact aquatic habitats. So, now moving on, let's talk about the increasing human population. More humans mean more infrastructure, causing habitat fragmentation that we talked about, pollution of air and water contamination that arises from greater consumption and waste generation that is also affecting the human health, and unsustainable resource extraction practices that damage ecosystem due to the shifts in economic activities driven by the need to support a larger population. So lastly, invasive species are introduced. Activities like international trade, bringing in goods, and even pet trade create pathways for species to move beyond their native ranges. Next, organisms aren't necessarily intentionally released. Instead, they indirectly arrive as hitchhikers on tourists. So, all of this can have significant indirect impacts on native flora and fauna as they might outcompete local species for resources, prey on native animals, or even alter habitats in ways that disadvantage native organisms. So the direct actions indirectly create opportunity for these species to arrive and cause harm. All in all of these are a chain of subsequent ecological interactions.
Now, impacts on local communities and cultural heritage. First, displacement of local populations. Rising property values and tourism-driven development push locals off their own neighborhoods. Next, loss of cultural authenticity. Traditions become performance altered to meet tourist expectations, leading to the commodification of culture. Now, how mass tourism can impact on local communities and cultural heritage. First, economic dependence and vulnerability. Over-reliance on tourism makes communities fragile during crises, pandemics, and seasonal downturns. Second, social tensions and conflict. Unequal benefits and cultural clashes often spark resentment between locals and visitors. Lastly, strain on infrastructure and services. Tourist crowds overload water systems, sanitation, transportation, and housing.
We have seen how mass tourism can cause serious problems like pollution, habitat destruction, and harm to local cultures. But there is a solution, and that is sustainable tourism. Sustainable tourism is all about traveling responsibly. It helps protect the environment, respect local traditions, and support local people. Instead of just focusing on profit and popularity, sustainable tourism focuses on long-term benefits for both the place and the people. By choosing eco-friendly travel, supporting local businesses, and being respectful tourists, we can help reduce the negative impact of mass tourism and make sure beautiful destinations stay there for future generations. This approach focuses on three main pillars: The first one is environmental conservation, like saving water, reducing pollution, and protecting wildlife. Second one is respecting cultures by learning about traditions and supporting local communities. And the last one is economic benefits. Basically, it's just helping local businesses and creating fair and long-term jobs. By following these ideas, we can enjoy traveling while also helping protect the planet for our future generations. So, these are the examples of sustainable tourism. The first one is ecotourism, one of the most popular forms. This focuses on visiting natural areas responsibly. The second one is community-based tourism, where local people are directly involved in running tours, accommodations, and experiences. This is this will not only boost the local economy, but also give travelers a more authentic and meaningful connection to the culture. The last one is responsible travel, another key concept. It means making conscious choices like staying in eco-friendly hotels, avoiding single-use plastics, respecting wildlife, and being mindful of local customs and dress codes. This initiative may seem small on their own, but together they create a ripple effect that can lead to big changes, preserving both the natural beauty and cultural identity of destinations around the world. In conclusion, mass tourism, while offering economic opportunities and cultural exchange, often comes at a steep environmental and social cost. From habitat destruction to cultural commodification, its impact can be far reaching and long lasting. However, by shifting towards sustainable tourism, we can strike a balance between exploration and preservation. Sustainable tourism empowers local communities, protects fragile ecosystems, and ensures that future generations can enjoy the same wonders we do today. As travelers, planners, and global citizens, it's our responsibility to make choices that support a more respectful and regenerative way of experiencing the world. That brings our presentation to an end. Thank you so much for your time and attention.